Hey guys, my name is TheRussianBadger and welcome to Oasis. Oasis is one of the maps that's going to be released by DICE in Map Pack 7, along with Harvest Day. That's going to be the other Battlefield Bad Company 1 map, and the other two are going to be named Heavy Metal and Cold War. And just a little disclaimer, I am not particularly excited about Heavy Metal because supposedly, according to DICE, Heavy Metal is going to be larger than Atacama Desert. I don't know about you guys, but I really do not need a map larger than Atacama Desert. Don't misunderstand me. I love huge maps. I like vehicles, but I don't need that many vehicles. And it sounds like Heavy Metal is going to be a little bit outrageous, but we shall see once that comes out. And I'm just trying to showcase for you this whole landscape. It's very desert. There's not a whole lot of vegetation, and I'm just going to show you how I infiltrated here. But this is not more so focused on strategy. It's more so focused on what this map looks like and how it may translate over to Bad Company 2. Now the things that I believe DICE are going to change is they're going to have to rework this whole situation here, because if this makes any sense at all, and I think the Battlefield veterans it definitely will, Battlefield Bad Company 1 and Battlefield Bad Company 2, they each have the same characteristics in the buildings, as in there's 2 or 3 set buildings and all the buildings look the same. If you guys know what I mean, there's like usually a small house and then there's a larger structured building. Sometimes there's larger hangars. I get stuck on the door here, but we get both objectives destroyed. But they're going to have to make sure that those MCOMs are placed in buildings that can't be destroyed via Destruction 2.0, because that's the majority of the MCOMs that are on this map, or in this map of Oasis. And it's a very elongated map, if that makes any sense. And although the flanks are extremely wide, and that's something that you're going to notice, and that's another thing that I'm interested to see whether or not DICE is going to do this, but picture Bad Company 2 maps, but with margins, like the containment areas. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know the red zones where they say, hey, you're going into enemy artillery zone, you're going to get your face blown off if you stay out there for another 10 seconds. Because if you stay out there 9 seconds, you're totally safe for some reason. But those margins, or those areas, those are a lot wider in Bad Company 1, so you could flank a lot easier. Oh, that was fantastic. What a headshot. But that's something that you're going to notice is there's definitely going to be a difference if DICE decides to keep those same margins on this map or not. And if they keep that same margin, then there will be flanking like no other map that you've ever seen in Bad Company 2 before. Maybe save Atacama Desert, because you can flank quite widely on that map, but then again it's all sand and it's really consistent and the visibility is so high, it's not going to be the same feel of flanking. So, and I always laugh. I laugh when people say, oh, I'm going to flank, because I think, okay, they are flanking, but flanking is a totally different experience in Bad Company 1. Because as I said, those artillery areas, hopefully you know what I'm talking about, are so much wider. It opens up the map so much more and allows for more creativity. But really, the main concept that I'm trying to portray to you here is I'm interested to see whether or not DICE holds those same margins as the original map structure in Bad Company 1, or if they're going to tighten them up a little bit to sort of conform to the Bad Company 2 playstyle. But if they leave them extremely wide, it is going to be a lot more fun in my personal opinion. And as you guys probably saw here, wider flanks leave so much more to the imagination, and it's a lot easier to approach an objective because, for example, you guys know what I'm talking about. Certain maps, they're so constricting, and hopefully you guys know what I mean by when I say this. For example, Port Valdez, awful. Because those choke points are so ridiculous, there's no room for flanking at all, because you're narrowed down to this. I'm not going to make a reference to 300 like the secret goat path that gets revealed by that ogre who has some kind of hunchback and then you guys all die. But you can't flank in situations like that where the choke point is so tight. You have to have the ability to go around and take areas where you're not going to accept any kind of gunfire. When you're really funneled into that small tight space, either you got to punch through with tanks or shoot a bunch of gentlemen that are all of equal ineptitude trying to defuse while out without trying to kill me. I don't know what happened there. I think they're just completely oblivious, and they thought that whoever had armed the charge was killed, but I'm still very much alive, and that's going to finish off the 4th, 5th guy. And this whole, you know, you get pins in Bad Company 2. This thing was going off forever. It's like this harmonica sound. Yeah, it doesn't stop for like another. There, it's done now. But it was just harmonica after harmonica. And Oasis is by far, and it's agreeable with DICE that Oasis is probably tied, in my personal opinion, with Harvest Day as the best maps in the general consensus of the Battlefield Bad Company 1 community. And you could just say, ah, you're a catfish. I don't like Harvest Day, and I don't like Oasis, and I don't like Broccoli either. I mean, that's your personal opinion, and I don't exactly agree that these are the totally best, but by far, on the whole, with the majority of Battlefield Bad Company 1 players, they all love these maps. Harvest Day is going to be tomorrow, as I said. Maybe, yeah, definitely tomorrow. Okay, so that's going to be Sunday night, but on the whole, basically every Bad Company 1 player loves Oasis and loves Harvest Day. There are other ones that I enjoy. Ascension. Oh, you know what? By far, but this is a Conquest map, so this is a little bit different, but by far, the best map ever to hit any Battlefield game ever is Par for the Course. I don't know if you guys have ever played Par for the Course, but it is, the amount of fun that you can have while playing that level is so ridiculous, it should be illegal in Cuba. And I don't know what these guys are doing. Maybe you're just don't pay attention when you run into buildings. How about that? Just do that. But Par for the Course, and I'll upload a gameplay if you guys like. Some of you are telling me, that guy popped out of nowhere, just Casper the Friendly Ghost coming through the walls. But if you guys would like to see Par for the Course, it's not going to be included in a map pack, so maybe it's irrelevant. Maybe you guys don't want to see it as I get fragged here. But you could ride around on golf carts. It took place on a golf course. The map was gigantic. The flags were in perfect places for conquest. I just really enjoyed it. But it seems like a lot of you just want to see strictly the maps that are characteristic to and going to be included in the map pack 7. So you really want to see the maps that are being translated across, or basically you guys want to see how Bad Company 1 translates across to Bad Company 2, and this is particularly manifested right now with Harvest Day and Oasis, obviously through the map pack that's coming very soon. If there's anything that DICE is particularly good at, is releasing amazing information that makes your jaw drop and not telling you whenever that particular map or that particular game is ever going to come out, which is so frustrating. Just, hey guys, listen, Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam and Map Pack 7 coming soon, and they never give us a release date for some reason. I don't know why that happens. I don't know why they operate that way. But at the same time, I would rather have like Winter 2010, as in Vietnam. And I don't get a Wesley Snipes here. Although I throw 6 grenades up there, I don't get a Wesley Snipes somehow. And I know J-Dust and a few other guys are just like, where's my Wesley Snipes? I need my Wesley Snipes. I am not getting my Wesley Snipes fix. My thirst for Wesley Snipes is not quenched, if that makes any sense without sounding derogatory. But Wesley Snipes are a lot more difficult than Bad Company 1, but it's going to be interesting to see, as I said earlier, how this is going to translate across. But definitely, this map opens up so many different types of gameplay. It really can appeal to virtually any player that plays Bad Company. You can have like those dominant demolition players that run in with shotguns, and they can stick in this really urban environment coming up. And you can also have snipers that go way out on the flanks, and there's also hills on my left, and there are also elevated positions. Sometimes I just sometimes I just don't say what I intend to say, but it's going to be quite interesting to see how players play differently between Bad Company 2 and Bad Company 1 on this specific map. And like I said, demolition guys with shotguns can go straight through the city, and I have an SMG, so I'm sort of adopting a similar role. And then there can also be snipers that go out on the flanks, and there can be the assault guys that go throughout the streets with the other demolition guys. But I eventually make it up into this building, and I armed a lot of MCONs in this particular game, and it wasn't real difficult because you guys probably aren't used to an urban environment, because there really aren't many urban environments in Bad Company 2 compared to Bad Company 1. Although there are arguably urban environments, even in Oasis, there's so many more buildings than you will ever see within a close proximity to each other compared to Bad Company 2. And if I could say that particularly, think of Bad Company 1 as a gigantic city when it comes to urban environments, and Bad Company 2 is more of a small town. As in, Bad Company 2 has a lot fewer buildings whenever they have urban environments, so-called urban environments, and really, in most Rush games, they're really the only urban environments you're going to see are a few on White Pass and majorly on Eureka Harbor, but there's not a whole lot of urban environment play when you compare these two games. Obviously a lot more in Bad Company 1. But I'm looking forward to how these maps are going to translate across. And I know I've mentioned that at least 3 or 4 times, but I'm interested to see if the adjustment will go smoothly. And there's also modifications. These aren't going to be the exact maps that you see. I believe DICE is going to switch up some of the MCOM station locations so that they're not all destructible via Destruction 2.0. And as they said, they might even tighten up those boundaries. But other than that, it seems like the maps are going to be, for the most part, unchanged. And it's going to be interesting to see how Oasis translates across. And specifically because I enjoy how the first 2 sets of objectives and sort of transitioning into the third, they're very open. There's not a whole lot of buildings. And then once you transition into the 4th and 5th set of objectives, or excuse me, the later objectives, I believe there's, yeah, okay, just the later sets of objectives, the last 2, it moves into an urban environment, so it's really interesting to see the transformation, how you get the best of both worlds. You get that really open play with lots of sand and lots of long lines of sight, and then you move into tighter urban quarters, and it really gives a good mix between long-range and short-range combat, and that's something that I really particularly enjoy. And of course, we get it finished here. Of course, we win because I was playing on the winning team, of course. I know that sounds weird, but thanks for watching, guys. I'll have Harvest Day for you tomorrow. Auf Wiedersehen, Katze-Fisch. Actually, I'm not going to translate catfish. Ich hab keine Lust. But I will see you later. I'm not going to call you Trickster, but I will say Auf Wiedersehen. Bis bald.